Yes, you are still tuned into the nation's number one talk news and sports station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Yes, time check 1:13 p.m. And yeah, as usual on this bright Monday afternoon, we keep it real on everything that concerns real property, infrastructure, architecture, and the environment as a whole. My name is Gbenga Akinsete, your host, and yes, as usual, we are always here to make things better, to talk about how we can improve our perception, how we can take necessary steps in order to improve our society, in order to develop our property and the right steps and procedures we need to take in order to be happier and to improve our lives in the city and the way we live in general. Yes, last time we talked about health, safety, and the environment. Yes, and we had the spokesman from the Lagos State Fire Service. Yes, of course we didn't have enough time to wrap up the discourse. Yes, but it's quite important that we emphasize some things we talked about off air. That's before we talk about the business of today. Yes, and we were talking about gas, especially the kitchen, and a lot of people said they got this BC that your gas cylinder expires. But what he said is, okay, the cylinder doesn't expire. What expires is the certification. So it's important, okay, you can actually revalidate your cylinder, and that's one of so many things that we actually need to know. Yeah, but one of these days we'll definitely have him back on the show. Yes, so to the business of today, we will be talking insurance. Yes, I'm sure you wonder, yes, insurance, there to go again. What about insurance? Yeah, we'll be talking about insuring your real estate, real property insurance, and a lot of things we do not know, a lot of things we don't want to know. Yeah, and by the time, I'm sure at the end of the show, you'll definitely have a change of heart. Yes, so property insurance. Yes, of course, in the studio with me, I have Chudi Kalu, a real estate consultant, investor, and developer. Yes, thank you for always being there, bro.
Thank you for having me once again, Gbenga.
Yes, and also I have with me a good friend. Yes, she's a humanitarian who is passionate about the grassroots, about the less privileged, about the welfare of the common man. Yes, and the Goshians at large. I would say she's an advocate of an improved working system that will enhance our lives in the city, the way we live, the main objective of the show, and that's why she's here. She's a multifaceted, successful entrepreneur. She's a property investor. She's a developer, a project manager, international law consultant, insurance broker, just to say a few. Yeah. It's quite an honor to have Buchi Malibu Solomon on the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's thank you for. I'm sure I must say she's one of the biggest fans of the show. Yeah, she listens and back to back, and now she's right here to tell us about property insurance. Right. So everything we need to know, the vital things we need to know about property insurance, we will be discussing. And remember, it's an interactive session. You can ask questions as we go on. You can send your messages via the WhatsApp number 0809 597 5805, and you could call 012770993, 012771993, 012772993, and 012773993. Or you could call the toll-free line on the number 0800L Nigeria Info. That's 08000 5644 37424 Yes, it's life in the city, the way we live here, and we're looking about how we can improve our lives by insuring our lives and property. Yes, and the benefits of actually insuring. Yeah, it takes little and you benefit more, right? It's not just the cumbersome process you would have thought about, or an unnecessary way of spending your money. Yeah, so it's something we need to talk about. It's something I have wanted to bring up on the show, that yeah, insurance is quite important. It's something we have to start thinking about, especially in this part of the world. Everybody, regardless of your specialty, your priorities in life. Yeah. So Buchi and Chudi will be enlightening us about most of what we need to know, right? Because it's quite vital that we know about what insurance is all about. Yes. So Buchi, tell us, property insurance, yeah, to the average person out there, what does property insurance mean? And is it synonymous to casualty insurance or what?
First of all, insurance is basically anything that protects you from a loss, or in the case of an eventuality. There's various types of insurances, and we're talking about property.
Right.
And property insurance just basically protects your property in the event of a loss. So you can insure, say, the building, and you can insure the content. So that's just basically what it is.
Right. Well said. So why would you actually sell insurance to someone? Why would you ask me to insure my property? Really?
I would, not just because I'm into insurance or because you're my friend, but I would ask people to insure because it protects your property and it protects your building. If you're a landlord, it would protect your building in the case of a fire, flood, earthquake.
Yeah.
And if you're a tenant, it would basically insure or protect everything that is inside your property.
Okay.
So your clothing, your TVs, your everything.
Right. Right. Well said. Chudi, what are your thoughts on that? If we have to insure our property, what do you think? You're a property investor, yeah, and what would you advise? Have you ever been into insurance? Do you advise? Do you imbibe it?
Yeah, of course. I would even advocate that you don't buy a property that is not insured, or probably you don't invest in property that does not have insurance.
Okay.
First of all, you have to be sure
Yeah.
that you won't lose your money. Now, the difference between the average investor and the poor investor, or the rich investors, is because the rich investor protect their investment.
Okay.
Why the average investor just put their money into a particular property and they get themselves burnt. We've heard stories of somebody bringing in goods worth several millions of naira.
Yeah.
And at every point in time, he's afraid when he hears that maybe one ship capsize. You are bringing in loads of millions, goods worth millions of naira. You're not thinking about that. So your BP is rising at maybe every time you hear the news, and you look at so million lost to the particular property. So, but people are not interested because they're not interested in protecting their investment or their money. Because I don't understand why people.
Is it a thing of mentality, priority, or it's a thing of the pockets?
Don't also forget that we live in a religious society.
Yeah,
it can never happen
God
to
forbid,
me.
God forbid.
And we go to church, we pray about it, and all of that.
Yeah.
So when you're also dealing with the religion, we're also dealing with the mentality, the culture.
Yeah. So, do you think, is it a thing of a mentality thing or a pocket thing? Because the average person out there would think, why do I have to spend that extra when it took me so much to even complete this property? Why do I need to do this?
Well, I would say it possibly would be a little bit of both, because not everybody can afford insurance.
Okay, but it's a percentage, isn't it?
It's a little percentage, but just to somebody who earns a certain amount of money a month and has to pay rent and has to buy petrol, it to them, I think basically what we need to do is educate them and make them realize how important it is, because it is in their best interest in the long run. So say you have a vehicle and you think, they always say, I say, insure your vehicle. So in Jesus' name, nothing is going to happen. God is my insurance. Yes, God is our insurance, but you do need to. So if for instance there's an accident, and somebody scratches your car or somebody hits you and there's a damage, at the end of the day you still have to pay for that damage. But if it's insured for, like you said, a little fraction, the insurance company covers it. So it's in their best interest in the long run, but they just don't know it. So I think it's more of a thing of awareness now.
Yeah, awareness, right? And that's why we're here. If you're just tuning in, it's 99.3 Nigeria Info, and it's Life in the City, the way we live, a real estate show on this station. I am architect Gbenga Akinsete, and I have Chudi Kalu and Buchi Madibu here, and we are talking property insurance, the things involved, the benefits. Yes, there's so much benefit. Off air, she has been educating me, and I thought to myself, yes, it's high time I started thinking of I started investing, not even thinking. I'm thinking of it now. So it's I should. It's just a thing of adjusting and saying, okay, I'm spending say X percentage more, which could have been the total amount of whatever you're spending in the first place. So would you is it advisable to inquire if a property is insured before you buy or rent? And what happens if it's not? Because trust me, most property in Lagos are not.
Most properties are not insured. The only time people actually do insurance in Nigeria is if it's mandatory. So a lot of people do vehicle insurance because obviously that gets checked.
Yeah.
In terms of building, a lot of people don't insure their buildings. The only time, I sell property, and the only time you would find somebody insuring the property is when they are actually taking out a mortgage from the bank, because the bank insists on
insurance
because they're trying to protect themselves.
Yeah.
So you find the person saying, "Oh, I have to do this insurance because I'm getting a mortgage," but left to them, they wouldn't do the insurance. But I personally, I think it is absolutely important.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would say, because it's a bit iffy, because if, for instance, I'm renting my house, it doesn't really matter to me if the building is insured, but it should matter to the owner of the property.
Yeah.
Right.
What matters to me is that my content. So I've moved into this empty house. I'm not there to insure the man's building, but I'm there to insure every single thing that I've paid money for inside my property. So what I could do is a householder's insurance. Now, if there's a fire, my property is insured. It is not my place to insure the property for the owner of the building.
Right. So you can actually insure your content.
Yes, you can.
Right there.
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
Right. Chudi.
I do real estate because I want to win. I don't do real estate because I want to lose. So whenever I buy a property, for example, I buy the property and I put in the cost of insurance. Reason is, many years, especially when I'm doing rental development, if maybe after a particular period of time, the reason why some people get their fingers burnt and when they put their hands in their head after they bought a property, develop the structure, after maybe 5 years, maybe one of the tenants all of a sudden, maybe because of gas and all of that, fire and blah blah blah, before you know it, the property is in ashes. Now, for me, who is the property owner, I don't need to cry foul. What I just need is to go to the insurance, because I've been able to protect my investment. So anybody who is doing real estate to win must take insurance seriously. I don't even sell. I realize that I sell more properties when I insure my property. I have more investors believing in me when I insure their investment. That means if you invest in my rental development, your money, I won't give you stories after 5 years. Maybe all of a sudden, maybe the structure comes down and all of that. A lot of people, because of that, they miss good opportunity that they should have taken advantage of in the long run. So some people, it's not, if my mentality is that it will cost me more. What will it cost you more if that investment goes in ashes? Do you understand? So you need to weigh those. You need to weigh so that you can protect your investment. So protecting your investment is the key. Anybody who is investing in any real estate portfolio should begin to think that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. A lot of people don't. A lot of landlords don't insure. And I simply do not understand why. I was telling you before the show, across the road from me, my neighbor's BQ caught fire, and it affected the other one, the other BQ, and and he was devastated, and he had to pay for his as well as the next person's. I mean, if he had insurance, the insurance would have absorbed the cost. It's a really, really little fraction that you have to pay. I mean, property insurance, insuring your property is not as much as people think, and I think it's pretty much essential. Like he's saying, if you're investing in, you have a property that is worth 100 and something million. What's it going to cost you to spend, a certain percentage of that insuring it, especially with the rates of, it's like little. I have clients who have lost their homes with a little surge. Just the socket.
The socket. That's
or the AC. It caught fire, and all of a sudden the whole thing went down.
Okay. Well said. Yeah, if you're just joining us, it's Life in the City, the Way We Live, a real estate show on 99.3 Nigeria Info, and we are talking insurance. Yes, we are keeping it real with insurance. The benefits, insurance is actually for you. It's not an unnecessary expense or investment. Yes, and people out there, I know the minds, I know the mentality, and we're here to adjust from the primitive way of thinking.
Gbenga, it's not an easy topic to discuss.
It's not at all. Because people don't believe in insurance.
And that's what
it's not. I know it's very difficult to discuss it because you're discussing loss. You're discussing. You're not discussing game. You're discussing law,
money,
protection, and all of that. So people we are too quick to. We want the profit, but we don't want the process that leads to profitability or protection of investment. So a lot of people are losing out on a daily basis. Let me explain to you. I know I have so many landlords coming to me, like, come and help me develop my structure. I don't have money to put them in good shape. Somebody came to me yesterday, sent me an email rather, and the email was that my house burnt down. I didn't even know that this was the topic we're going to discuss today. So it was like, I need to raise it up, I need to have structures on it. And I'm like, why? It doesn't need to come to me. Now, his problem is my own opportunity. There are many people, developers, that are taking advantage of a lot of landlords just because of the same reason. So a lot of people, they have to now give out their property for the next 20 years, the next 15 years.
Yes, that's
just basically because they do not do they didn't do the right thing when they ought to have done that.
I've done it. Okay, let's talk to who before we. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. What is your name and where are you calling from? Okay, hi. So you want to know about insurance? How? Okay. Okay. Right. Okay, Thank you for your contribution. I'm sure which is here to convince you on a new chapter to to securing your life and property. Thank you for calling, Tony. Yeah. So.
Basically, I mean, these things happen.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to happen. There's a body that governs all insurance companies. I mean, sometimes, like, they say abroad, sometimes people take the mickey. And they don't do what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it. But this should not be the case. There's a body that governs the insurance company, and there's a body that governs the brokers, the insurance brokers. I mean, and I personally think that if more people actually report these things, I think then, because the thing is, the regulatory body is actually quite strict. They fine if you do anything outside what you're supposed to be doing, there are huge fines and you're sanctioned, and none of us want to get sanctioned. So I personally think a lot of the time, I think it's not like in like the culture here, people don't have a culture for reporting. Sorry to interrupt. We want to go for a short break. Just tuning in. It's Life in the City, the way we live, a real estate show on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am architect Gbenga, your host, and I have, of course, Chudi Kalu in the studio, and Buchi Madiabo Solomon as well, a property investor and insurance broker, and we have been talking insurance, the benefits of insurance. What about insurance? What is it? What's in it? What's in it for me, right? And how can I get my claim? And how easy is it for me to invest and actually claim my benefits in the case of loss? Yeah, Buchi, before the news break, you were talking about. We're speaking about claims.
Yes, claims, right.
I mean, the onus of every insurance company is to pay claims. That is just basically the bottom line. And there's a stipulated amount of time given to them to settle the claims. And if they do not, then they could be reported. The thing is, I always advise people to go through a broker. normally with a broker, you're able to process your claims quicker.
Okay.
It's easier. It's things get done quicker when you actually go through a broker, because what happens is the broker uses their customer power.
Right.
So say I'm brokering, I'm giving insurance to a certain insurance company.
Yeah.
And I have maybe 100 clients with them, and I have one client who has a claim. I can say to them, well, if you don't settle this on time, this, I can move my business elsewhere. So they tend to want to do that. But the thing is, there are also bodies that regulate us, bodies that regulate brokers, and bodies that NICOM regulates insurance brokers,
Okay.
and NCRIB. NICOM regulates the insurance companies, and NCRIB would regulate the brokers. And I feel that if anybody has any problem with a claim, I mean, you're saying that you've had a claim and for over a year it hasn't been paid. I would advise that you take it up, you report them, because it is your right. Unless of course there's something. Sometimes, I mean, I met a lady who had a claim with a particular insurance company, and she was complaining about it. I didn't know her, and as a broker I actually rang them and I spoke to them, and I mean, it was settled. But the thing is, a lot of times the people also have a hand in it. They will call us as brokers and say, my claim is this and that, but then they haven't given us all the right documents. So sometimes they're saying, get a police report. We need a police report. And the customer is too busy to go out and get a report. And so they're waiting for you to settle a claim when we don't have the complete documents. So, it works both ways. So if you know that you have a claim and you've given them all the right documents, and it's taking so long and you feel like somebody has cheated you along the line, be it a broker, be it an underwriter, you have the right to actually speak to the governing body and get them to intervene. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know, but you do have the right to do that. And they do listen, because our commissioner is, he's something else.
He's efficient.
He's very efficient.
Oh, fair.
I mean, so a lot of them don't want to get on the bad side of the commission, because you get fined a lot of money.
Right.
They get suspended.
Like your license, yes.
Right.
Very. Could suspend the license, and
very well said.
You don't want that.
Yeah. So it's actually not as cumbersome as we think, and there is a regulatory body that can actually
intercede.
Yes. Right. Well, so let's talk to a caller. Let's talk to Lagos. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, Emeka. Have you in? Okay.
I started it about some years back, but at a point I was not able to continue.
Okay.
Because of my job issue and what happened. And at the end of the day, the agent that was coming to me, I requested, to collect the ones I have paid before. He said no, I have no right to collect that money is gone. Is it true?
Okay. Yeah, that's your question. Thank you for calling. So, I guess the summary of his question is: does insurance expire? Does it have a validity period? If I come and claim and you tell me the money is gone, that's
No, I think what he's doing is a different type of insurance. It's some sort of endowment policy with regards to his kids' school fees.
Okay.
I always say to people, when you do take out a policy, read the terms and conditions.
Right.
So I can guarantee you that policy says so say it's a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
If you break the contract within 6 months, you lose everything. So sometimes that is that could possibly be what would have happened.
Okay.
But he probably did not read the policy document. So I always advise, when you do take out a policy, before you actually take it out, you're allowed to ask for a specimen policy.
Right.
Have a look at it and see if it suits you. And you can renegotiate and say, look, I want a policy that would give me the liberty to claim even. So say if I lose my job and all of that, I can claim a certain amount back.
Exactly.
So you work out your own agreement based on the confines of insurance law, basically.
Yeah, very, very well said. Yes, I have Buchi Madibu and Chudi Kalu in the studio, and we are talking property insurance. Remember, you can send your messages, ask questions, make your contributions, or even if you're an insurance consultant or investor as well, you could actually make your contributions. The numbers are 012770993, 1993, 2993, 3993. Yeah, I'm sure Lagos knows the numbers already. But the toll-free line is 08000 L Nigeria info. Right. Let's talk to. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, you sounding short. Hello. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, so, sorry, I first of all want to correct a little impression they gave.
Okay.
Why Nigerians are not interested in insurance.
Go ahead.
You know, people don't just wake up and just decide that they don't get interested in something in this country when we find out. People, some of us, you know, have engaged ourselves in this sort of interest. And I found ourselves really regretting what we did. You know, because of the legal kind of false legal system that we have.
Yeah.
There is this belief the insurance companies are big as they are.
Okay.
They are quite exploiting, you know, that legal false image that we have. Because they know Baba is biggest cost now. And Baba is the last 10 years, how many individuals outside continue to give like 10 to 15 years. So these are the things that discourage people like us from going in there. So that's one aspect. Then two, the fundamental nature of this thing is the form is not as easy. You don't get an insurance form and then you understand it. Oh, you are eating charges, you are eating
Is it true? Okay. Yes. Yeah, sure, please don't.
So I had an issue one time. It's very, very big, reputable insurance company in this country.
Okay.
Let me just get it right.
Yeah, just stop right there. Alright.
So, you know, at a point, when my maturity got there, I got to its maturity, and then I wanted to include my money. I discovered that what they were trying to give me wasn't what I was expecting. And I had to start doing a reconciliation with them, physically with them, with the accountants, me. And I started bringing all my receipts. I had over 130 something receipts, and they were so surprised. In the space of 6 years, I could be so articulate with all those receipts.
Wow.
Again. And eventually I was able to correct them, and they were almost okay.
Did you get your pay?
Yeah, I eventually got paid.
Okay. Yeah, so you did your part.
Yes, I had to play my part. But the accountant was trying to get smart. So I saw they would charge me on one occasion.
Okay.
And it was amounting to over 180,000.
Okay.
So I was able to pay my way out. So, but if I wasn't that learned enough, they would have gone through with that one.
Right.
So that's on one part. And then on the second part again, this one is what I'm going through presently. I had a contract with another insurance company. Well, they're not too reputable, but let me just give them a try, which I did. And right now, I'm trying to, they want me to understand
Yeah.
that they are actually an officially registered 419 organization. But you go there, they tell you that security is at the gate, ready for any noise making. They will take you out. Everybody understands the status quo. Which is not a normal thing here. Nobody is actually this one. How much is your money then? And then they start to ask me, how much is my money then? Okay. You made me sign a document. Are you listening now?
Yeah, well, but we don't have much time.
You made me sign a document that has a clause that I have released them of every liability. While I hadn't collected my money, but I have released them of every liability of the money they owe me. And I was asking this woman who brought this form, how can you bring me such a form when you don't pay me and you're asking me to sign? And she is showing me another clause in that same form that says you won't sign this or you won't give this process.
Okay, what is your question to Buchi and Chudi? Yeah.
Okay, my question is this. First of all, if you help us by making this deal, let's come back from.
Okay.
You know, having to call the lawyer and this and that. That's
Right.
one. If there's any way they could help the judicial system,
Yes.
work more efficiently.
Okay. Thank you very much for your significant, rich contribution.
I won't say. He made mention of being learned or not being learned.
Yeah.
The point here is, just like him, I'm also a client to the insurance people.
Okay.
I won't condemn them.
Okay.
I won't negate whatever they are doing.
Okay.
Irrespective of that, insurance people naturally will want to pay. Definitely, we will want to pay.
Yeah.
But there is something that he did, and that is the fact that he paid attention
To
The
details.
detail.
Yeah.
Like I said, he
People
read
Due
are
the
not
diligence.
paying
document.
attention to their
That is what it
money.
is.
That is the problem.
Exactly.
I have problem with people who you are putting your financial destiny in the hands of others without you paying attention to yours.
Yeah.
Insurance people won't do that for you. You need to pay attention to where your money
need to
is.
read the
Right.
fine
You need
print,
to be able to
the
read
little
those
print.
content.
Right.
Don't just say the judiciary, whatever. We can come here and there's nothing currently working in Nigeria. And we are not going to lay claim that these things are going to work all of a sudden.
Right.
But anywhere you put your money, you need to be able to pay attention to where your money is.
Right.
The government isn't going to come and do it for you.
And also, they don't need to, like he's talking about lawyers.
Yeah.
They don't need lawyers.
Okay.
Like I said, there is a body that regulates all of us.
Right.
There's a body that regulates the insurance company.
Yeah.
You're better off going to that body because at the end of the day, you get more results because they get sanctioned. So people don't know. So if you have an issue with an insurance company or a broker and you write to or email their regulatory body,
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that you will get a response and it will get sorted.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to a lawyer.
Yeah.
I get response.
It
You know
boils
why I get
back.
response?
Yeah.
Because I'm paying attention to details.
Yeah.
have to read
Due
your policy.
diligence,
I
due
always
process.
do
do
policy
insurance,
documents
but
and
I
read
pay
them.
attention to
It's
details.
like
Right.
signing a contract
Right.
without reading the terms and conditions. So
Yeah.
somebody gives you a contract and says, "Hey,
A
you
lot of
sign."
us we're quite like a bicycle about
If you like,
these things.
they
We
give
want
you
these things to work
130,
for itself.
Receipts. They give you 200 receipts.
Yeah.
Pay attention to details.
You need to read your policy document. That's the bottom line.
Buchi, if you don't mind, how can they reach you? Are you on Twitter? Email? Yeah, no,
Yes,
you're
I'm on
okay. Your mail then.
You can email me,
Yeah.
B Madiebo, that's B, and then MADIEBO at me.com.
Right, and of course you can follow at Coach Chudi.
Yep.
Right, and at Akins Muiwa. Right, let's go to the phone lines and hear more stories and the way forward. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Peter.
Okay, Peter from Shomolu, please. You have just 30 seconds here to ask a question or express yourself. Okay, go ahead.
The point I want to make in my question is it a crime for the insurance people to direct your attention to whatever they are writing that you have not to? Because the man that talks about the children education,
Yeah.
I think maybe there was a clause, he did not know, he did not see. So can't the brokers or the insurance people, the underwriters, direct his attention or call his attention to that look, you have not seen this one, you have not read it, how do you understand it?
Right.
It's like they set street trap for people. That what you don't know, what you don't see, they capitalize on that to make sure they deny you of your benefit.
All right. Thank you for calling. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Adam, you sound sad. What's up? Okay. Talk to us. Talk to us.
I listen to this guy.
Really?
Proper friend of the gang.
Oh, is it? Okay. I'm not used to him anyway. Yeah. Tell us about your experience on insurance or what you need to know. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so what is your question? What do you want changed? What are your aspirations about this? What do you what advice do you want?
Right now, we should forget to stop what they're saying now. Now that corruption is not existing in this country anymore, so
Okay, it's 99.3 Nigeria Info, the nation's #1 talk, news and sports station. Yes, and hanging in the studio with me, I have Chudi Kalu and Buchi Madiebo. Yes. Buchi Solomon, pardon me, yeah. Buchi Solomon, property investor and insurance broker. And we have been talking about insurance, yes, the benefit of insurance. And Buchi, alongside Chudi, are here to convince us that yes, like we always say, from acquiring property to knowing the right house to live in, due diligence, due process is quite important. We have to pay attention to detail, play our part and not expect that part to play itself, and then we start blaming the consultants and the brokers and so on. Yes, once more, Buchi, please tell us your mail, how they can send you a message
It's
to ask you questions.
It's B Madiebo. That's BMADIEBO @me.com.
Right. Okay, yeah, let's talk to Lagos once again. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from, please? Okay, yeah. Yeah, the insurance policy, yeah. Right. What it takes, the requirements of insurance, the basic thing to the layman out there. Okay then, thank you for calling.
For example, if I want to, I want to insure a property, what exactly do I want to insure? What do I want to achieve with my insurance? I don't want this property, maybe in terms of if I'm constructing, for example, I don't want negligence on the part of my contractors. Or probably I don't want, maybe because of fire and all of that, I want to be able to protect my investment. So if protection of my investment is, I discuss with a broker, this is what I want the content should look like. So we discuss, and the terms has been set for me. So I make, maybe on a yearly basis, I pay my insurance and all of that, so that I can. So I need to be specific exactly what I want. Whatever you want will determine the content and the terms and conditions for which you are guided.
The terms and normally with insurance, the terms and conditions are normally standard.
Okay.
The policy documents are pretty much the same.
Do you need a lawyer?
No, you don't need a lawyer.
Okay.
All you need to do is be able to read. If you're unable to read, you need a broker. So it's always best to go through a broker.
Okay,
because for instance, I know basically a lot of the terms and conditions for the policy documents because we deal with them on a regular basis.
Right.
All you need to do is just read the terms and conditions. You can
and ask questions.
And if you're not happy with it, you speak to them. Sometimes they're able to bend. But generally, like I said, it's all governed by NICOM. So NICOM goes through all the policy documents, and that is what is standard. But they're able to bend it here and there, depending on the insurance company. Basically, like I said, within the confines of insurance law and of NICOM.
Right.
But it is really important. Like he was saying, it is not, the onus is not on me, on the insurance company to tell. The onus is on the broker to look after the client, because that is how the broker gets paid, through the client. If the client is happy.
Right.
But the insurance company, it's like with the banks. They don't tell you the hidden charges, and they're hoping you don't know. They put it in small print.
Yeah.
So the onus is on you to read, always read the small print.
Every alphabet. Yeah.
That's just all it is.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Read and ask questions.
Right.
And it's like I keep saying, I can't emphasize enough using a broker, because the broker normally the broker's interest, if the client is not happy, the broker gets nothing. So basically, the broker's interest is the client. So it's always best to, go through not because I'm one, but it is always best to go through a broker.
Right. Just like we say, ask the architects. It's important you go through the right consultant in order to get the right results. Yeah. The problem is we keep cutting corners, and at the end, it's a big loss.
And what people don't know, I'm sorry to cut you. What people don't know is that you don't pay the broker anymore. So it's the same. So whatever it is you're paying the insurance.
Oh, that sounds attractive now.
It's the same thing. So we're basically like tickets.
Yeah.
So you go through an agent to get a ticket.
So I don't
ticket
have
is
to
still
pay
the
you
same.
a
No,
fee.
it's free.
That's
But the
quite
services
attractive.
of the broker is free to the client.
Yeah.
But then the insurance company pays the broker. So it does not cost you any more to go through a broker who will look out for your best interest.
Right. What's the typical percentage that I get charged if I want to invest my car, my house? What's the typical
The
percentage?
rates
Just
vary.
give- okay.
So between 3% and anything between 3% and 10%. So it depends on the insurance company.
Okay.
So it would be that rate based on the value of your vehicle.
Right.
And that is what you pay.
Right, and it's quite interesting. I've learned a number of things today, that even a tenant can actually insure his property within an uninsured house, and you can also insure your contracts whilst you're, for example, on a construction site. You can actually insure your
For the
your
duration of your
for the
contract.
duration.
Just in case something happens.
So you can insure property, you can insure your situation, you can
You can
actually
insure
insure your
anything.
business.
I mean, even
You can
in
insure
Hollywood, the stars insure, the models
their
insure
legs.
their legs.
Yeah, you can insure tangible and intangible things. It's quite interesting. Yeah, one last question. We have to go now. Yes. If I buy a house, if I'm about to buy a house, who insures it? Is it my duty or the developer or the seller?
It is your duty because you're the one buying the house.
Okay.
So the
okay.
developer can insure the house up until the period whilst it's empty.
Yeah.
And then, when somebody else takes over, they get to insure because
Right.
it's their house.
Okay, very well said. Yeah, thank you very much, Bushi, for coming on the show. Buchi Solomon, yeah, thank you for coming on the show. Time, yeah, we ran out of time. Some other time. Thank you, Chudi.
Thank you for having me.
Always. Yes, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned next Monday on the Real Estate Show 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Architect Gbenga Akinsete. Do have the best of the rest of the week. Bye for now.